Yeah, big smiles. That's a beautiful thing. Well, I put on.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Thank you. I call this meeting to order at 6:03 PM for January 5th. Note that all council members are present and we have achieved a quorum, which the clerk will note in the record. We have added flags at all corners of the room, so please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we get started, I want to note the presence of several elected and former elected officials. I noted former City Council member Cynthia Richardson, former City Council member Erica Pickett, former Mayor Lori Geer, former County Commissioner Sharon Dillon, Senator Liz Lovelet. I believe we will be joined by some port commissioners later on this evening. And of course, we have our officiant for administering the oath this evening. I'd like to welcome one of Anacortes' own, Superior Court Judge Elizabeth Yost Nedweski. We are going to get started with our oaths of office. We have 5 to do, and we will do them in order. Right over here by the flags. Mr. Luke Courier, you're up first. I'll call each of you up by name one at a time to stand in front of the flags and recite the oath. At the conclusion of each oath, applause would be in order.
Yep.
And the council member may desire to pose for photos.
You should stand there. Yeah.
Luke, you're gonna. All right, I'll let Emily figure it out here.
Okay. This work? Good. All right. Can everybody hear me? Can everyone hear him?
Hello? Yeah,
All
there
right,
we go.
there we go. All right, so I'm going to ask that you please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Luke Courier,
I, Luke Courier,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
and I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge the duties
perform and discharge the duties
of the office of council member
of the office of council member
for the city of Anacortes
for the city of Anacortes
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Councilmember Bruce McDougall.
Woo. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
If you will please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Bruce McDougall,
I, Bruce McDougall,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
and I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member
for the city of Anacortes
for the city of Anacortes
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Councilmember Carolyn Moulton.
Hello. Good. Okay.
I think this works, right?
It works.
That'll work, right?
All right. Okay. Okay. All right, please raise your right hand. I, Carolyn Moulton,
I, Carolyn Moulton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
and I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member
for the city of Anacortes
for the city of Anacortes
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Councilmember Anthony Young.
Raise your right hand, please. I, Anthony Young,
I, Anthony Young,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
and I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member
for the city of Anacortes
for the city of
to
Anacortes
the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And we have one more.
All right, you can please raise your right hand. I, Ryan Walters,
I, Ryan Walters,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and Constitution and laws of the state of Washington
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
and the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
and I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office of mayor
the duties of the office of mayor
for the city of Anacortes
for the city of Anacortes
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God. Well, thank you all. And thank you to Judge Nedweski for administering the oath. We hope you all will stay throughout what is expected to be a relatively short meeting to join us for refreshments afterwards, all of which were donated. But first, a few words from me. We have a lot to celebrate in 2026. 2026 is the 250th birthday of our nation's Declaration of Independence from Great Britain. 2026, yes, worthy of applause. As a 2026 is the 135th anniversary of the incorporation of Anacortes. And we are just 3 years away from the sesquicentennial, the 150th anniversary of the founding of Anacortes. 2026 is the centennial anniversary of the Port of Anacortes. And of course, 2026 is the 60th birthday of the original Star Trek. But as much as we could cast 2026 in celebration, we do have some reason for trepidation. We face significant fiscal challenges. We face sluggish sales tax growth and sustained inflation, and we have been seeing close to zero revenue growth from new construction. And in short, our costs are going up, but the city's general revenue is declining in real dollars. So we're not alone in this. Cities across the region are facing this, but our particular circumstance led to the city's layoffs last year that impacted 13 employees and 6 unfilled positions. I think all of us here continue to feel the impact of those layoffs, and none of us want to be in that position again. It's critically important that we not be, because the city's employees are the lifeblood of this organization. They keep the city running, in some cases actually putting their lives on the line to save yours and ours. Whether they're picking up garbage or turning valves or filing paperwork, our city employees make it possible to live in this community. We owe them our best work and our hard choices to balance our budgets without cutting staff through no fault of their own. And not only did the 2025 budget cut staff, it also cut budget line items across the board that may make it difficult for the city to function: overtime, training budgets, outside counsel, even the A-Town magazine has been cut. So I'm painting something of a dire picture here for a celebratory event, and I don't want to sugarcoat it. There is a way out of every box and a solution to every puzzle. And tomorrow I will issue an executive order to all staff and all departments that will lay out ways in which we will cut expenses further than we cut in the 2026 budget, including prohibition on certain purchases, deferral of large expenses early in the year to preserve our cash flow, continuation of our hiring freeze to provide opportunity to evaluate positions before we do fill them, examination of ways to reduce and consolidate the city's vehicle fleet, and limitations on departments' ability to shift spending between budget line items. These really are not optional measures. They are essential to avoid a repeat of the end of 2025. We need to cut expenses, and I intend this executive order to clearly set that tone. But solely cutting expenses in an era where revenues are declining only buys us time. It doesn't fix the problem. So we will need to explore alternative revenue sources. We need to facilitate more economic growth that generates more sales tax revenue. We need to issue permits more quickly, and you'll see us act decisively on that. We need to do what cities do best, which is build infrastructure and the conditions that allow business and industry to allow us to thrive and that support a balanced community. And we need to make smart investments that facilitate that. So while we are at work cutting expenses, you will also see the city spending money. You will see the city make investments that help generate revenue, investments like the repaving of South Commercial Avenue and building our public events facility. And because frequently in city finance, those investments are paid for by monies that can't legally be spent on other things, we all have a real job to do in educating ourselves and the residents of Anacortes. Council, I will make sure that you have the tools to do that. We will monitor our progress, and we will keep the community informed. But the takeaway is this: you should not expect and you will not experience business as usual. We face adversity here, but we also have an opportunity to be stronger, more efficient, more sustainable and resilient, and to do a better job on behalf of our constituents. And there's a lot more that we all want to accomplish for the residents of Anacortes. We talk about accomplishing things like the Guimas Channel Trail. We talk about downtown beautification, and we are going to pursue all those things because we have a strong community that wants to participate, and we are going to support that. But while we continue to do that, we've got to get our fiscal house in order. That will be our first order of business. I want to assure you, my family has lived in this community for 5 generations. This is my home. This is our home. We'll take care of it. Thank you to all of you who have put your faith in me and put your faith in this council. We won't let you down. So let's get to work. A couple of housekeeping items tonight. Pursuant to the authority in the Skagit Transit bylaws, I have appointed Carolyn Moulton to take my place as the city's representative on the Skagit Transit Board. Councilmember Moulton has served on that board as the Anacortes City Council member representative since 2025, but the bylaws rotate. So that seat will go to another city in 2026. So this appointment will enable her to continue to serve on the Skagit Transit Board. I have appointed Terry Carroll Gillis to fill a vacancy on the Anacortes Housing Authority Board, terminating at the end of 2029. By state law, council confirmation is not required for that appointment. I've recommended to the Board of Skagit County Commissioners that they appoint Jan Robinson to the Skagit Ferry Advisory Committee. By state law, the county makes that appointment and typically on the Anacortes Mayor's recommendation. We are reworking our web pages and database of board and commission positions and vacancies, and we'll have more to announce on that soon. I also wanted to announce that the Skagit Board of Commissioners is advertising for the newly established Skagit County Climate Impact Advisory Committee, the purpose of which is to collect, analyze, and discuss vetted scientific publications and reports, and on that basis, provide recommendations to Skagit County Board of Commissioners on issues related to climate change, impact risk, risk reduction, and adaptation. Applications are due by Friday, January 30th at 4:30 p.m., and that information is on the front page of the Anacortes website. And now I have the happy privilege of administering the oaths of office for 2 police officers and 1 non-commissioned officer for the Anacortes Police Department. Do you want to say something?
Tonight, we are here to witness the oath of office for our 2 newest officers and our newest non-commissioned record staff member. And we're doing so in front of our mayor, council, and apparently an audience that really loves a good oath of office because they turned out in droves. So with that, I would like to introduce first Officer Carl Wallace. Carl was born and raised in Snohomish County, graduated from Snohomish High School, and attended Everett Community College. Carl then transferred to the University of Arizona, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry. We are extremely happy to have Carl with us. He received rave reviews by our interview panel. And joining us tonight to witness his oath of office is his father, Chris. Mayor Walters, will you now administer the oath of office?
All right. Are you ready? I, Carl Wallace,
I, Carl Wallace,
being first duly sworn
duly sworn
on oath, depose and say,
on oath to pose and say,
I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States of America,
and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
and faithfully and impartially
and faithfully and impartially
perform my duties as officer
perform my duties as officer
for the city of Anacortes Police Department
for the city of Anacortes Police Department
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations. Nothing about it. Right, the pin.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you Officer Benjamin West. So Ben is a King County native, graduating from Redmond High School, attended the University of Washington, graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Media and Communications. Joining us tonight to witness Ben's oath of office are his girlfriend Eliza and his son Kaleo. Mayor Walters, will you please administer the oath of office?
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Benjamin West,
I, Benjamin West,
being first duly sworn,
being first duty sworn,
on oath depose and say,
on oath depose and say,
I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States of America,
and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the Constitution and the laws in the state of Washington,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
the ordinances in the city of Anacortes,
and faithfully and impartially perform my duties
and faithfully and impartially perform my duties
as officer for the city of Anacortes Police Department
as officer for the city of Anacortes Police Department
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Last but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce to you the latest addition to our extremely hardworking and outstanding records team, Liz Wingard. Liz grew up in the Seattle area before leaving Washington to attend the University of Montana. While she was there, she met her husband, Rob. They both moved to Anacortes in 2013. Liz spends her time outside of work reading, exploring the outdoors, and chasing a very high-energy 19-month-old son who may or may not be in the room because of the amount of time we're taking to get this rolling. Liz is super excited to be part of our records team, and joining us tonight to witness her oath of office is her husband, Rob, her son, Braden, her father, Frank, stepmother, Christy, her brother, Thomas, and close family friends, Carl and Diane. Mayor Walters, will you please administer the oath of office?
Please repeat after me. I, Liz Wingard,
I, Liz Wingard,
on my honor do solemnly swear,
on my honor do solemnly swear,
I will not betray my duty
I will not betray my duty
as a public servant,
as a public servant,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
or the public trust.
I will have the courage
I will have the courage
to hold myself and others accountable for our actions.
to hold myself and others accountable for my actions.
I will uphold the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
I will uphold the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
the ordinances of the city of Anacortes,
and the mission of the Anacortes Police Department.
and the mission of the Anacortes Police Department.
To the best of my ability, so help me God.
To the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard to all three of those new employees. If there are any other council announcements, now would be the appropriate time. No? All right, then we will proceed to public comment. I don't believe we had anybody signed up for public comment and nobody online. So if anyone is interested in, oh, we have one. Please approach the podium, and the protocol is a little different. You no longer need to press the button on the microphone.
Suzanne Roner, Anacortes. I just want to congratulate the new mayor and the new council members and the returning council members. One thing I did notice, we pledged our allegiance to the flag, one nation under God. And we had oaths of office where people asked for God's help in upholding that oath. And yet I saw no Bible that people traditionally put their hands on. And I've been here for lots of swearing-ins. I've never noticed it before. But I had a big opportunity today with so many swearing-ins that it was missing. And I'm wondering if maybe it's a COVID remnant where you didn't want to touch anything, but I'm asking you to consider to have a Bible for oaths of office. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else? Seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. Council, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda or anything you would like to remove from it?
Mayor Walters,
Mr. Fantini.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. The ayes have it and the consent agenda is approved. Our next item is a closed record decision hearing on the Port of Anacortes' Shoreline Substantial Development Permit and Framework Development Plan for the West Basin Redevelopment Project. Grace Pollard from our planning department will give a brief presentation. This is a closed record decision hearing. No public comment is accepted. And then council will make a decision on the proposal. Ms. Pollard, when you are ready.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, members of the audience.
And Ms. Pollard, if you could bring your mic just a little bit closer.
Is this better?
That's better.
Ooh,
Thank you.
That's better. All right. So my name is Grace Pollard, Senior Planner here at City of Anacortes, presenting a very quick slideshow, wrapping up 2 land use applications, a shoreline substantial development permit, and a framework development plan. The West Basin Redevelopment Plan is a proposal by the Port of Anacortes. They're both the applicant of these 2 land use applications, as well as the landowners of the project site. The area is zoned commercial marine, and the shoreline designation is urban. The area has been referred to as Cap Sandy Marina West Basin Uplands. And that area, there's an overview here that includes the green open space, the rough gravel parking lot, existing parking lot area. It's all upland, nothing waterward of the ordinary high water mark. These 2 applications are both a type 4 permit review requiring city council decision. They were reviewed concurrently together. So by law, the project has 1 open record public hearing and 1 closed record decision hearing. Because the 2 applications were processed together, they had a dual notice of application with 30-day public comment period, a dual notice of open record public hearing, as well as here we are today with the closed record decision hearing. Elements of the shoreline substantial development permit that were included in the staff report and the agenda packet outlined the area of the project that actually falls within the shoreline jurisdiction, which is the 200 feet from the ordinary high water mark. There is elements of the project within that area, including new roads and associated utility facilities, parking facilities, water enjoyment, recreation facilities, and a new street end park, landscaping areas, and other little details. The shoreline substantial development permit criteria for approval is that all proposed uses and development occurring within shoreline jurisdiction must conform to the Anacortes Shoreline Master Program. The staff report identified some of the major elements in development regulations that included those project areas. And this slide just quickly outlines how much of development is within the shoreline area. So if you can follow my mouse, this dashed black line is the approximate location of the shoreline jurisdiction, which is 200 feet from the ordinary high water mark. So we've got 3 future development pads and the open space new park along the shoreline, the realignment of Market Street, and the realignment of the intersection of 9th and R Avenue, as well as some formalized parking. So that's the area that's included in the shoreline substantial development permit. Quickly moving on to the framework development plan. This section is just taken straight from code. The city has this framework development plan, which is an opportunity for developers to obtain preliminary approval for a large or phased development proposal that depicts its major development and design parameters, such as the major circulation and infrastructure systems, open space, block frontages, and other elements. This is a side-by-side photo of that overall phase development plan and current conditions, where has been identified the major circulation systems, identifying the Tommy Thompson Trail continuation along 9th Street, ensuring that the waterfront esplanade continues, the public park design and timing of construction is in the framework development plan, and overall construction phasing. And that's what the orange numbers here are construction phasing. So in case there's any confusion, again, there's 3 development pads along the shoreline and the park, and they are identified in this image as having separate permit phases, but there's just the 3 development pads. The framework development plan itself by code is a recorded covenant with the Skagit County Auditor's Office. What was in the packet were the conditions that were recommended to be included in that covenant. If there at any time there's questions about that, I have these slides prepared just to look closer at the language. And then lastly, the recommended conditions of approval from staff and also from the Planning Commission. There are 16 in total. Many could be considered boilerplate conditions. One bit of detail to note is that current council member Courier was Planning Commissioner Courier when Planning Commission recommended approval to City Council on these applications. That's clear in your packet, but just wanted to make sure that that was clear for all transparency purposes. That, unless again, you have any questions about specific conditions, they're here to discuss, but that is my quick presentation.
Thank you very much. Now, I do believe we have some representatives of the applicant here. Do we want to hear from them? Only if they are interested. Not required. Okay, here we go. Would you please state your name for the record?
Yeah, Adam Morrow. I'm with Pacific Surveying and Engineering, and I've kind of been representing the port on this project now for almost 3 years. So this is kind of an exciting moment for us. We do have members of the port here with us today and some port commissioners as well that I saw. I think you got a good overview of this, and we've all had this discussion not too long ago, or many of us have. We just took care of some old easement so that were existing on the property. I believe that document was just recorded a couple weeks ago over the holidays. And so we've really cleaned this up, and I think we've set ourselves up for a nice development project here on the waterfront. And I know you're also aware of some of the other exciting things that are happening along with that. So I won't keep you. Congratulations in order to all of you. And if you have any questions for me, I'm more than willing to answer them.
Council, do you have any questions? Either for the applicant or for staff?
Mayor Walters.
Ms. Moulton.
Thank you. I have a question for Ms. Pollard related to the conditions. You mentioned that most of them are boilerplate, and I'm wondering which ones are not.
Sure. Let's see. So number 4 makes mention of, sorry, I'm perusing too quickly. Let me make sure I'm pointing out the right one. No. Yes, number 5. Okay, so number 5, the final shoreline site plan required to be submitted, but the site development permit application shall show a 25-foot buffer from the adjacent fish and wildlife habitat conservation area. Alternatively, the proposed habitat buffer averaging provision under that SMP regulation can be shown provided condition number 7 below is also satisfied, where number 7 says that if applicable, if the port is selecting to request the buffer averaging, then an addendum to the critical areas report must also be provided at time of the site development permit. That is one that immediately came to mind as non-boilerplate. It doesn't change anything. It's just an option that is built right into code that we can handle during permit review. With the proper professional and science-backed verification that overall buffer averaging doesn't diminish, the functions. That might be it. The other ones are mainly clarification on the final construction drawing site plans that may not have been shown in the framework development site plan. But I don't see any others that are very unique to the project.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, council? Ms. Pollard, do we need to hear from any other parties of record?
No.
No, okay.
Mayor Walters,
Go ahead.
I just want to confirm, I did sit on the planning commission and recommended approval of this to come to the city council. I don't think there's any objection to me voting again, but just wanted to throw that out there and clarify that with the city attorney.
It's a good question that we don't encounter very often. And I think that your involvement at the planning commission level has been disclosed. And if there was any objection to your participation on council, then you would have the opportunity to recuse yourself from the vote. But absent any kind of objection, your involvement's been disclosed. And so you've satisfied that duty.
Great, thank you.
I did want to note the presence of Port Commissioners Pittis, LaFleur, Bowers, maybe others. Papadakis. Oh, yep, there.
Mayor Walters.
Mr. Fantini.
I feel like we've had a lot of discussion around this shoreline development plan. Had a lot of conversation around it. So unless there's any more, I move motion number 1, that the council approve the Port of Anacortes Cap Sani West Basin Redevelopment Shoreline Substantial Development Permit, file number STP 20230003, consistent with the Planning Commission's recommendations dated December 10th, 2025, based on the findings of fact and conclusions of law contained in the record and subject to the conditions of approval as presented. Further, I move to authorize the mayor to sign the final decision document on behalf of the council.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to do that. The clerk will note in the record to approve the Port of Anacortes Shoreline Substantial Development Permit. Is there discussion on that motion? there's no discussion, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll call vote.
Mr. Courier,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Ms. Cleveland McGrath.
Yes.
Ms. Moulton.
Yes.
Mr. McDougall,
Yes.
Mr. Fantini.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, the ayes are 6, the noes are 0.
The ayes have it and the motion is approved.
Mayor Walters.
Mr. Fantini.
I move that the council approve the Port of Anacortes Cap Sandy West Basin Framework Development Plan file number FMW 202300001, consistent with the Planning Commission's recommendations dated December 10th, 2025, based on the findings of fact and conclusions of law contained in the record and subject to the conditions of approval as presented. Further, I move to authorize the mayor to sign the final decision document on behalf of the council.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the framework development plan. Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Ms. Cleveland McGrath.
Yes.
Ms. Moulton.
Yes.
Mr. McDougall,
Yes.
Mr. Fantini.
Yes.
Mr. Courier.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, the ayes are 6, the noes are 0.
The ayes have it and the motion is approved. To the Port Commission, congratulations. Thank you very much. This project has been a long time coming. We will endeavor to do them a little bit faster in the future. But it's also an important project that will be important for our waterfront, for our economy, and for the revenues and budget for the city of Anacortes. So thank you, council. We are on to the penultimate item on our agenda, which there are only 2 left, which is election of the mayor pro tem. And I'll introduce this item. The city council must elect a mayor pro tem from among the council members at the first council meeting in January after a general municipal election. The mayor pro tem serves in the absence or disability of the mayor and appoints council committees. You have a proposal in your packet that we exercise an option under Robert's rules to take nominations for this position. Nominations may be taken from the council, do not require a second. If you agree, I will open a call for nomination. Council members make those nominations. The chair will close the call for nominations. And then after any discussion, if there are multiple nominees, we'll call for a vote on all of those nominations, and then the council members may vote for their chosen member rather than yes or no. If there's no objection, that's the rule will fall for this action. Hearing none, the rule is adopted. Are there any nominations for mayor pro tem?
Mayor Walters.
Ms. Moulton.
I nominate Ms. Cleveland McGrath to be our next mayor pro tem.
Second.
Seconds are not required, but thank you very much. Are there any other nominations for mayor pro tem? If there are no other nominations, nominations are closed. Is there any discussion? If there is no other discussion, then members will vote for one nominee. Mr. Franciac, would you call the roll?
Ms. Cleveland McGrath.
For Ms. Cleveland McGrath, yes. Thanks.
Ms. Moulton.
Yes.
Mr. McDougall.
Yes, for Ms. Cleveland McGrath.
Mr. Fantini.
Yes, for Ms. Cleveland McGrath.
Mr. Courier.
Yes, for Ms. Cleveland McGrath.
Mr. Young.
And yes, for Ms. Cleveland McGrath.
Mr. Mayor, there are 6 votes for Ms. Cleveland McGrath, 0 for others.
Sounds like Ms. Cleveland McGrath has been elected. Congratulations. Is there anything you would like to say?
Well, thank you. I look forward to this opportunity. Past council members have served as mayor pro tem, and I will be leaning on your expertise and experience. I think I will have reached out to most of us. I think we'll get something put together because we're going to try to get the committee assignments done for this next Monday meeting. So we'll all connect and get this done in the next couple of days. So thank you very much. I'm honored to work with all of you.
Thank you. And now our final item is adoption of a process to fill a city council vacancy. Our HR director, Kendall Moyle, will present this item. She has a PowerPoint.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and members of the audience. Tonight, I'd like to present to you regarding our council vacancy in Ward 1 and the adoption of a process to fill that vacancy. Effective January 1, 2026, City Council Member Ryan Walters resigned from the Ward 1 City Council position he has held since 2012 to assume the office of mayor. Council now has 90 days to fill the vacancy by appointment. The appointee serves until next regular election and takes place in fall 2027. In order to meet the qualifications, the appointee must be a resident of Ward 1, a resident of the City of Anacortes for at least 1 full year immediately preceding the appointment, and be a registered voter in the City of Anacortes. State law does not prescribe a process for filling the vacancy, but consistent with our past practice, staff proposed the following process for advertising, council deliberation, and appointment. The city would advertise and accept applications until Tuesday, February 3rd at noon, after which staff would confirm eligibility. Staff have developed an online application form that asks applicants to provide their name, address, email address, phone number, cover letter, and resume, as well as to confirm their eligibility for appointment to office. All submissions are public record. At the February 9th meeting, applicants would provide 3-minute in-person statements in open session. Council would consider applications in executive session, and council would then, in open session, select a small number of applicants for follow-up interviews. At the February 16th meeting, council would hear presentations from selected applicants and ask follow-up questions. Council would deliberate in executive session, and council would then vote in open session to appoint an applicant. The successful applicant would be sworn in and take office at the following meeting. Public comment on the applicants or applications won't be taken during the meeting, though written comments submitted ahead of time will be accepted. The mayor has no role in the selection except to administer the process, run the meetings, and to vote to break any council tie. This process may be modified by the city council at any time. Staff requests that council approve the process as presented or with modifications so that we can begin the process immediately. Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you. Council, do you have any questions for Ms. Moyle?
Mayor Walters?
Mr. Fantini?
I do. So I went back and watched, I have a couple of questions, so please indulge me a short time. I'll try to be quick. I went back and watched the previous time, and I'm very grateful that we are going into this with more of a plan. That's great. I did have a question about executive sessions. So when I watched the previous appointment, the reason to go into executive session was to review qualifications of the candidates. It seems like that there is going to be a review prior, the qualifications will be reviewed prior. What would be the purpose? Because, this is a political decision, not a personnel decision. And so I'm just curious what our purpose is going into executive session. Because we can't talk about what we talk about in executive session.
And Ms. Moyle, you can defer that to the city attorney if you would like.
I'm just saying this is up for modification. So this is a suggestion at this time, and Darcy's welcome to speak to it as well.
So it is an item that is eligible for discussion in executive session, and that does not mean that council has to have that discussion and deliberation in executive session. As a practical matter, in the past, I think what's happened through these processes is council has narrowed down the field of candidates to a smaller number for follow-up interviews. And having that discussion in executive session may be respectful of potential candidates' feelings if they aren't selected to move forward. I think that's probably the reason for the executive session allowance, but it's certainly not required of council.
I would encourage us to kind of maybe think about that a little bit. And I think that comes to me mainly because I feel like now having been here for 2 years, and I know many of you longer. I think public scrutiny is something that we receive a lot of in this role. And I think it is a good measurement to have some public scrutiny through the deliberation process of choosing who will fill that seat. So I mean, because I feel like I can say, I feel like we're all pretty respectful up here with our thoughts and our feelings. Just curious how everybody else feels about that, because I think the public might be very interested in our deliberations and questions publicly.
Mayor Walters.
Mr. Krieger.
Yeah, I would echo what TJ says. I feel like I would lean towards an open discussion because again, I do feel like people on this panel or on this dais would handle it respectfully. I do appreciate the idea that you'd want to respect people's feelings, but again, if you're putting yourself out there in a political position, you're open for scrutiny anyway at that point. So just a thought. I think having that as an open process, I would lean towards that, but I'd be really curious how other people felt and get your perspectives on it.
Mayor Walters?
Ms. Moulton.
I did not go through the process. I went through the process as a candidate last time. And as a candidate, I felt that it was appropriate for council to deliberate in executive session and then come back. And my recollection is that they deliberated some more and had more conversation. I would be comfortable having the executive session and then coming out and discussing more.
Ms. Cleveland McGrath.
Thank you. As one of the other candidates through that process, Carolyn and I were both up for that position. We all ultimately ended up on council through different paths, but there is a level of sensitivity that happens when you're putting yourself out there. I think it is valuable to have the public discussion, but for the sake of having to put yourself out there and present publicly and then also with your written, it's best to have a little bit of discussion privately for the sake of just preserving relationships in a small community, for preserving the ability for other candidates or candidates who are not necessarily chosen in this round to be able to allow them to be able to present themselves in the way they want to if they decide to run in the future. It's never in a comfortable situation to be in, but I think that no decisions are made in the executive session. There will be discussion in the open session, but sometimes some of those offhanded comments can hit a lot deeper than intended when having just a roundtable discussion.
Mr. McDougall.
Mayor Walters. Actually, as I guess a candidate through the previous process a few years before my colleagues here, where I was appointed, that process was very loose. I think it was maybe the first time it had been done in, I don't know how long, but there were 2 candidates up for it and it was all done in council public proceeding. And it was a little bit funny, and the other person like kind of got out of there quickly at the end. Like they didn't feel good about it, how it went. Everyone was very polite and everything, but still it was just a little awkward. So that's my experience. I guess I was on the, kind of winning side of that, but it was a little bit awkward.
Mr. Young.
Thank you. Making tough decisions like that always tend to hurt feelings, whether you're selected or not, whether you're discussed publicly or not. And the challenge to that, I think, is that in one way, we want the public to participate and be a part of it and realize that we are truly an open government trying to do the right thing, but we don't want to offend anyone. And at the same time, we're tough people. We have to be. Every decision we make is not going to be embraced by the public. I do think, though, that when it comes to decisions of this nature, I think what we will get if we vet part of this in executive session. And the public part of that is when you narrow it down to 3 people. I prefer that in the sense that, you know, I've been on council 8 years and I've been involved in government for 25, 30 years. And, you know, it's always hurt feelings. And, you know, I just don't want that. And I think that there's a way we can have both. You know, the questions of who's selected to go forward, then the public meeting allows us to discuss those 3 candidates. And you know, I'm weighing that way not because I don't want you to be part of it, but I think one brilliant woman said at a conversation, she said, 95% of what's said about you is said when you're not in the room. That's both good and bad, right? And so what we're hoping, at least what I'm hoping, is that truly the trust of all of us, all of those things that we're talking about that we want to make sure that comes public will still be brought public. But we will have those discussions about those that are vetted toward the end. And I think it gives us both. I just think that the hard part is when there may be so many people to decide that they are ready, with in some cases it may not be what the city really needs. And we've got to be able to, as leaders and in charge of that public servant, is to be able to have those open discussions among us and then bring forward those best candidates. And then we talk openly about all of them and where they are and why we each believe that they will give service to the city in the right way. And then each of us will vote our conscience. And that's it. So I recognize the point that my 2 colleagues, esteemed colleagues, are making. I really do. But I think we'll get that once we narrow the list down and then come forward and discuss it. So I'm of the opinion that we will begin in executive session and then vet the final candidates in open public session.
And I would offer that you don't have to make the decision right now about whether or not you go into executive session. At the time at which you might want to go into executive session, someone needs to make the motion to do that. I think what staff proposed here mirrors the process last time we did this. And I think it's pretty common for cities to go into executive session, but certainly not required for this process. What we do need right now is to set the timeline and get the application out the door. If you're okay with those components, you could strip the executive session business out of this and you could make that decision later. You may get 1 candidate, you may get 20 candidates, and you might want to change your mind about how you do things depending on how many you receive.
Mayor Walters, sorry.
Ms. Cleveland.
Thank you. And just for clarification, any applicant, their packet or any information that they submit will be in the council packet for that week. So the public will be able to see it, council members will be able to see it. And then at the February 9th meeting, each applicant will make a statement. So I do think there is transparency in the fact that the public will be able to make, I don't think we're taking public comment, but obviously submissions, public comment written can always happen. Our emails are always available. So I think that there's enough opportunity there that it should be a fairly transparent process.
Mayor Walters.
Mr. Fantini.
Thank you for the clarity of we can do executive session or not at any time. So I would move that we move forward with this plan, striking for now the executive sessions with full knowledge that as we go through the process, should we receive more than 1 candidate, we can vote to put those in at any time.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to proceed with the process as described, less the executive session component. Is there any discussion? If there is no discussion, if there is no objection, the motion will be adopted. Is there an objection?
Mayor Walters,
Ms. Moulton?
I would prefer to leave the executive session in and we can take it out if we'd like to at the time. So yes, I guess that's an objection. Yes.
Brilliant. So we will proceed to a vote on the motion unless there's further discussion. No further discussion. All right. All those in favor of the motion to proceed with the plan as presented, less the executive session component, say aye. All those opposed say no.
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 The noes have it. The motion is not adopted.
Mayor Walters,
Ms. Moulton?
I move that the city council adopt the process as proposed to fill the vacancy in the city council's Ward 1 seat.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to adopt the proposed process for filling the vacancy. Discussion? If there's no discussion, all those in favor of the motion to adopt the proposed approach for filling the vacancy, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no.
No.
The ayes have it, and the motion is approved. And I would remind council that you can make whatever changes at any time. Thank you all. That concludes tonight's meeting. There are cupcakes in the back. I hope we will see you all again next week.